Councilman Lay, would you do the invocation?
Please stand. Lord, we appreciate this time to get together and do your work and the work for the Cherokee Nation, the Cherokee people. And thank you for this beautiful day. God bless everyone here tonight. Amen.
Shelley, would you call the roll?
Joe England.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Joe Rhodes.
On it.
Julia Coates. Jody Fishinghawk.
Here.
Meredith Fraley. Here. Janelle Fulbright.
Present.
Dalton Garvin. Frankie Hargis. Chuck Hoskin Jr.
Here.
China Corey Jordan.
Present.
Lee Canner. Dick Light.
Here.
Curtis Snell.
Here.
David Thornton.
Present.
David Walkingstick. Karen Cohen Watts.
Honey.
We do have a quorum.
Okay. I believe you have in your packets the October 15th, 2012 minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Second.
Second. All those in favor of approving the minutes of October 15th signify by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Okay. Principal Chief Bill John Baker, State of the Nation.
Greetings. It is an honor and a privilege to come before you again this month for the State of the Nation. We've really been busy here at the Nation for the last month or so, and things have been going really well. Lacey Horn, I'd like to thank her very much. For the 11th year in a row, we have had a clean audit and met the highest honors and standards of government for stellar financial reporting and accountability. And I think her staff needs a big round of applause. We've done it before, but it's her first year, and so I was really pleased for her to get that for us. On November the 1st, we had a very large meeting at the Hard Rock in Tulsa to honor all of our Carol vendors, and I think it was a good time had by all, and it was a really good time. We're growing in the number of tarot vendors every month, and we're up to I think 600-700 tarot vendors now, which I'm extremely pleased to be in that position. On November the 5th, we had the official grand opening of the Bonita Healthcare Center, which is a beautiful 96,000 square foot clinic that has dentistry and optometry and lab. And for the folks in the northern part of the Cherokee Nation, it is absolutely fabulous. And it's real easy to find if you're going up 44, and as soon as you go under McDonald's, just look to your right, and you'll see this gorgeous building to your right, and it's something that's been needed for a long time, and it is just absolutely, fantastic, and I think everybody on the council is extremely proud of that new clinic where we can serve our people better. On November the 7th, we were able to go to Collinsville and break ground on a new food distribution center. It's near their community building, and it's going to be a great need to our people to give them a center where they no longer have to get food off the truck or drive 30 miles to get served. So I'm really pleased that we got that done, and it'll be a very nice facility there in Collinsville. Last Friday, we had the honor and privilege at the Veterans Memorial to honor our veterans. I was a little sad. I looked out through the crowd, and it appeared that maybe we didn't have any World War II veterans at the ceremony this year. But one little fellow that looks to be 70 or so raised his hand, and the war must not have been too hard on him, because he sure looked good, and he sure didn't look like a World War II vet, but he was there, and we had a wonderful ceremony. The plane or the helicopter came in, and I think everybody had a really good time. It's the first time in about 60 years that I hadn't been to a parade in Tahlequah, Oklahoma for Veterans Day. But we traveled to New Mexico and Arizona and had some fantastic meetings with your cousins that live in that part of the world. I think the first meeting we had, it appeared to be 300 people. They had never had that kind of a turnout before. I couldn't tell for sure if it's because they knew I was coming or that they knew that we were going to have the photo IDs there at the meeting. But it was really good turnout, and they had fantastic food, and we spent basically the whole day there getting them their cards and just visiting with friends and family from that part of the world. And then we went later that afternoon, we went to Tucson, and they had more people at their meeting than they'd ever had. And then we had a really good meeting in Albuquerque. I actually had 2 meetings in Albuquerque. And so we made the rounds and visited with a lot of our family, and it was a very, very good family picnic. So I was tickled to be able to do that. This month is Native American Heritage Month, and for that, the Cherokee Nation is offering everybody free admission to all of our Cherokee-owned museums. So tell your friends and your family or relatives or neighbors that come in and share our heritage and free admission to our museums. I'd like to invite everybody to join us on December 4th, where we have the annual lighting of the Cherokee Square to kick off the Christmas season, and it'll be a nice event, and Tahlequah lights up their stuff as well that day, as well as the university. We sent a team of Cherokees out to Las Vegas, and they came back with Michelle West as the champion ladies barrel racer. Trey West came back as the junior bull rider. Stephen Brickey came back as the champion calf roper, and Ross Scroggins came back for the senior breakaway roping. So they're all national champions of the National Indian Rodeo Association. If you could give them a big hand. And as much as we were proud of those kids, those people, we had a tragedy. Mr. J.D. Jones was representing us in the saddle bronc riding. And he got hung in his rigging and was kicked in the head and died. So we brought him back, and I'm going to start off with him on our remembrances. That's J.D. Jones. We also this month, no longer with us this month, is Jack Woods of Smithville, Missouri, an elder and retired Union Railroad worker. Do the council have other citizens that aren't with us anymore? Janelle?
Dr. Bob Mitchell of Southside, he well represented the Cherokees. He was president of the OU Board of Regents for a while, and he was very proud of his work for a partnership with to improve Indian health. And we lost him, and also Alice Stevenson, and she was our cook over at the Cherokee Apartments, and she was a great lady.
Thank you, Janelle. Chief?
Have Carl Shorty Cummins, relative of Jerry Holderby, one of our board members at CNB.
Karen?
Ted Williams.
Curtis?
Janie Fields, Frank Raper, Jess Cochran. They were all full-blood Cherokees, and elderly people passed away the last couple of weeks.
Thank you, sir. If we could take a moment of silence to remember these Cherokees that aren't with us anymore. Thank you all so much, and I appreciate your time. And at this point, the best part of the program is Deputy Chief come up and gives us the opportunity to recognize our Cherokee veterans. And so if you would, welcome Deputy Chief Joe Crittenden.
Thank you, Chief. Tonight, we honor several Cherokee veterans from the Hembry family. First, we want to recognize Ivan Hembry. Ivan, would you come down, please? I'm going to read about you a little bit. Ivan was born in 1933 in the Oak Grove community near Stillwell, and Frankie and Jody, and Kurt. He graduated in 1952 from Stillwell High School, and in March of '53, he entered the Army and attended basic training at Fort Chaffee, Arkansas. Ivan was stationed at Camp Gordon, Georgia. He remained there until he was discharged in April of 1955. Ivan attended Okmulgee Tech and graduated with a degree in diesel mechanics. After a period of being a heavy equipment operator, he was employed by the Oklahoma State Department of Human Services. He attended Northeastern State University part-time and graduated in 1970 with a degree in sociology. Ivan owned and operated Gardner Grocery in the Greasy community from 1984 to 1994. He retired in 1994 to his ranch in the Greasy community near Stillwell, Oklahoma, where he continues to reside. And Ivan, I want to thank you, sir, for your service to this country.
Put your name, your service, and all of that forever in our memorial. And this is something that's earned. It's not something that is just given.
It's an honor to receive it.
And
Thank you very much.
would you like to say anything?
Oh, no, man, I'm just thanking you about your considerations. Thank you very much.
Okay, and you'll step right here. We need to get there.
I got to get over here, my dad's Next, we honor Dan Sequoia Hembry. Let's give Dan a hand. He was born in 1935 in the Oak Grove community near Stillwell. His parents were Ray D. and Carlotta Ruth Adair Hembry. Dan attended grade school at Oak Grove Grade School and graduated from Stillwell High School in '53. He was inducted into the U.S. Army at Camp Chaffee, Arkansas. His duty places in the United States were in Texas and Fort Sill, Oklahoma. His overseas duty was served in Japan. Corporal Hembry received an honorable discharge at Fort Lewis, Washington, after serving from '54 to '56. Back at home, he attended Northeastern State University, where he received his bachelor's degree. He began his teaching career at Westville High School and later attended the University of Arkansas and Oklahoma State University, where he received his certificate to teach vocational education. Dan started a vocational carpentry program at Westville High School, where his students built 20 homes in the Westville area. He retired in 1990 after 30 years at Westville High School. He's very proud of his Cherokee heritage. His mother, Carlotta Adair Hembry, was a great-granddaughter of Chief John Ross. Dan lives in Westville with his wife of 54 years, Audrey Welch Hembry. They have one daughter, Pam, and 2 grandchildren. And sir, I want to thank you for your service to this country. Thank you very much.
Would you like your bride to come down here and be in this picture with us, please? Camera? Granddaughter?
Just bring them all down.
Go.
Jerry?
I'll be there in a minute. I want a picture first and then I'll be there. Perfect. Can you take a picture? All you gotta do is push. All you can do is push. Easy, sorry.
And this is your plaque for your wall, and that's for a brick memorial with your name on it. And this is something that you earned, it's not something you just given. And would you like to say anything to everybody?
Chief, Vice Chief, Council, thank you very much.
Next, we want to recognize Alfred Hembry. Al, would you come up, please, sir? Thank you, sir, for your service to this country. Al was born in 1930 in Stillwell, Oklahoma, and raised in Oak Grove, Oklahoma. He attended Stillwell High School, and after graduation, he enlisted in the United States Air Force in 1952. His basic training was in San Antonio, Texas. Al went through technical school in Aberdeen, Maryland, to become a welder. After graduation from technical school, he was sent to Mountain Home, Idaho, briefly before being sent on to Seoul, Korea. While in Seoul, Al served 1 year as an aircraft welder. After returning stateside, he was shipped to Clovis Air Force Base in New Mexico and commuted from there to Chanute, Illinois for extended welding training. Al served the rest of his term at Clovis Air Force Base and was discharged in 1956. He returned home to Stillwell and attended Northeastern State University before accepting a job in Tulsa as a welder. In '59, he was employed with the Oklahoma State Department of Wildlife as a state game warden for Adair County, where he worked for 35 years before retiring in 1995. And I could tell some stories about his service as a game warden, but I'll leave that alone for right now, okay? Al and his wife of 54 years, Sue, have 4 children who were raised in Westville. He still resides at his home in Westville. And Al, I want to thank you, sir, for the service that you gave to this country.
Sue,
I think I've got all my children here.
have them come. More the merrier.
suit, I can't see you now.
Thank you so much for your service. I know you're here, we got it out, and we'll put your brick in the memorial, thank you for your wall, thank you for your service. Thank you, sir.
It's great to be a Native American.
Amen.
And now we get to honor Monroe Hembry. Monroe, come down, sir. Thank you so much for your service to this country, sir. I want to read about you. Monroe Hembry was the second child of Ray and Carlotta Ruth Adair Hembry. He was inducted into the United States Army in Abilene, Texas in 1942. He served as an Army medic, private first class, and was stationed during his tour of duty in France, Belgium, Germany, and England. And Chief, we got a World War II veteran here.
I see that.
He was discharged at Seattle, Washington in 1945. His occupation after leaving the military was carpentry. After returning stateside, Monroe married his wife, Rose, and together they have 3 children, James, Cheryl Ann, and Lester. James, Cheryl Ann, and Lester. And sir, I want to thank you for your service to this country. Thank you. You have family?
Well, here she is. Don't get the purple part now. Let's smile. All right, thank you for your service.
I like to say a word.
Absolutely.
I really don't know how to express my attitude and or my opinion about what's going on here tonight. It's been a privilege to be here tonight. It's been a privilege to have whatever it is. It's been an honor to serve my country. I'm very proud of my country. I'm very proud to be an Indian. I'm very proud of Cherokee Nation. I'm just very proud, happy. Say one more thing to you. Listen to me, please. Freedom is the most precious product that man has ever been able to have.
Amen.
When we live in America, I've been here for 91 years. It's been a pleasure to be able to honor and to serve my country. We don't know what freedom really means till we lose it. We better enjoy what we have.
Amen.
As American citizens. Regardless of what kind of country we are coming today, still the best country in the world. God bless you.
And let me say that it's truly an honor to be part of this family. They are the These gentlemen are descendants of Principal Chief John Ross. They have served the Cherokee Nation this family has served the Cherokee Nation for generations in the past and hopefully generations to come. I'm so humbled to be in their presence here tonight.
Got a smile.
We're finished, I think, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Madam
Councilman.
Speaker, I'd like to introduce a special person tonight. It's Todd's daughter, Jessica. She's three-time state champion and could have been four, but she had a little hard luck there. Jessica, stand up. We're real proud of you. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, I see no unfinished business, so we'll move right on into committee reports. The first report will be the Housing Authority by Gary Cooper.
Madam Speaker, members of the council, good evening. The November Housing Authority board meeting will be next Tuesday at the Housing Authority offices down off 4th Street at 5:30 in the evening. Originally, I thought our board might want to have that at another time because it's the week of Thanksgiving, but they thought that would be as good a time as any to come and meet. So if you all would like, feel free to come out to our board meeting. Our offices will be closed the same days that Cherokee Nation is closed, which will be Thursday and Friday. I'm also working to plan a Housing Authority-wide staff development and training day for December. I plan on that being sometime in the latter part of December, and as soon as we get a firm date set, I'll be sending out an invitation to each and every one of you to join us if you would like. We would plan on having staff training and development during most of the day with the luncheon to celebrate Christmas in between there for all of the employees, and allow all of our employees from all of our offices across the 14 counties to kind of come together and sit down as one large group of people and enjoy each other's company. Staff has been working they've been very busy working on transition of housing services back to the Housing Authority. I'm very glad to report that we've been able to do that. It's been a long, hard task. It would have been nice if we had had a few more months, but we were able to get there. And it seems like every day we get a little bit further and further, and we get a little bit closer and closer to our goal. So I think it's going good. It's always a good thing. Sometimes I kind of wonder if how it's all going, and then I come out to different places, or I'm out in your communities or different places, and I hear from different people, I hear wonderful things about housing, or there's such good things that, employees out there are saying about housing. So that always makes it good, and it makes me at least think that we're doing something good. But I do want to report that we are getting there. I'd like to commend all of my staff for their hard work. It took all of them. It wasn't just one person, but it was a whole team, a whole group of people that came together to get everything done. Our first obstacle was having a functioning accounting and payroll system. We were able to do that. We were able to get checks out, get employees paid. All direct deposits went out at the time that we hoped that they would go out. Our employees are on the same schedule as Cherokee Nation employees are. So what that meant is those employees that transitioned from Cherokee Nation back to the Housing Authority were on the same payroll schedule. There was no disruption in pay. There was no disruption in paychecks. What happened was one pay period, they got their direct deposit from Cherokee Nation. 2 weeks down the road, whenever they expected their next one, it came. it came to their bank account, but it came from the Housing Authority instead. So we have been working very hard on getting everything going. Over the last month, we've been able to hire some employees and start getting some employees on staff. I'm happy to report that we do have a functioning and a very capable human resources department and a computer and information systems department that I think is probably second to none. I think some of them thought that I was being less than honest with them whenever I told them, now, whenever you come over here, don't be surprised because we don't have anything. You know, we don't have anything really whenever it comes to the IT side, whenever it comes to the network, the infrastructure, everything that goes into an organization. Whether it's a small organization or a large organization, we just didn't have that because we didn't have to have that a long time ago, and nowadays we do. So the IT people we got, they came over and they realized very quickly that I was telling them the truth. But they've hit the ground running, and they have been out to all of our offices, taking full accountability of what we got, seeing what we need, and seeing what we really need to do to get to where we're going. And that it keeps getting better and better each day. We keep getting a little bit further and further along on the operational side of everything, and we also keep moving along towards getting the services out there, building new houses. We started 14 new houses this month. We are on track to start at least 20 a month from here on out. And over the next month, as we get more and more properties processed, more and more properties kind of in our system to get out there, we should be on track to get that done, and we hope to get somewhere around 20 to 30 going each month. Staff continue to be very busy getting everything that goes into getting a site ready to process. That includes, things as simple as doing a site inspection to getting utility commitments to everything else that goes along with that. So we are moving right along on that, and I think that we are definitely on track to meet our goals. It's taken a little bit of time, but we are getting there. All of our housing programs continue to grow. And I think at the committee meeting this afternoon, I had given you a report that actually showed how big of impact we make out there in housing, whether it be rental assistance or apartments or home ownership or different things. And you're able to see, all of those people that we're able to get services out there towards you. And it has a big impact all across the Cherokee Nation. We do have 2,364 families currently participating on our Community Shield Insurance Program. We continue to get a few more in each day, and we have a few that go off, but we do have, that is a program that has been very beneficial to a lot of families out there that could not get affordable homeowners insurance that was affordable to them, especially families that were on fixed incomes and things of that nature. So that is a very good program that we are able to do and that we are able to offer. That concludes my report for this evening. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have.
Questions? Okay, good report. Thank you. Our next report is Cherokee Nation Businesses by Sean Slayton.
Good evening. Principal Chief, Deputy Chief, Council, it's my privilege to represent our employees before you tonight. We reported on August financials at $9.6 million. We're really happy with that result, and wanted to commend our employees for a great 2012. It was the best ever, and we're looking forward to the same thing in 2013. The months of October, November, December, we come into our seasonal trend where we'll see usually a slight downturn until January, February, and March, and it takes a steep bend back to the north. So our people are working hard, and appreciate every one of them. In addition to the financial contribution from just our operations, we contributed $280,000 in tax collections to the nation too. On October 30th, we were proud to announce and close that we had bought the Woodmark building here in Tahlequah. We're very proud of that facility. We bought it for $5.3 million. It has 298,000 square feet of manufacturing space and 10,000 square feet of office space. It came with 13.7 acres of land, which included the parking lot. This building will give us the opportunity to attract new business to the community. We did the same thing at Pryor last year, and that facility is 75 to 80% at capacity. And we'll be working very hard in the coming months to put jobs into the Woodmark building. So we appreciate everybody's support in stepping out there on the limb, and we look forward to good things from that facility. If you travel up to Catoosa and look across from the highway towards the casino, it'll look a little different. We've started and almost completed the demolition of the Cherokee Inn. We will be, as quickly as possible, making that into additional parking. As you know, we're site constrained on event night, and that will go a long way to helping us. We have another 100 rooms coming on board mid-December. And if you look at the area that surrounded the Catoosa property, there's been a lot of economic development with 2 new hotels that supported the existing Holiday Inn Express. So that price point is well represented in that area. And as I say, we'll be bringing on more inventory here shortly. As part of that demolition project, we invited Cherokee Nation and the communities to come in and remove any of the equipment that they felt like they could use, sinks, doors, windows, just a lot of additional stuff, and that was very successful from what I understand. And I see Gina sitting back there. Gina Elia kind of coordinated that with the nation, and in addition to that, I know there's some consideration around the artists tonight, and Gina and her group is the group that is responsible for procuring all of our artwork for all of our facilities. And that's if you've come into all of our casinos and you've seen the artwork, you've seen them in the clinics, it's this group that's doing it, and particularly Gina. And that's a big job, and she has done fantastic at it. So I really appreciate you, Gina, and your effort and your staff's. Job well done on that. Healthcare services at Cherokee Nation businesses was awarded a $16 million contract over 5 years. That's their first major contract like that, and I'd like to congratulate them on that. Our current employment is 4,199 at C&B. I've been here 15 years, going on 16 now, and for the first time, our Cherokee percentage is at 70.4%. So I appreciate the effort from our managers and supervisors in hiring people to crack that 70% mark. Other Native American employment is 7.8 for a total of 78.2 Native American. That concludes my report. If there are any questions.
Council Lady Watts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Sean, on the Woodmark building, who was the
Yes.
listing agent?
I believe Woodmark had engaged, Woodmark, American Woodmark had engaged Wright Real Estate.
And then you just brought it up. It was on the demolition of the
yes.
building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure what the process is, but I know that our community where it sits has never had the opportunity when we've demolished those, and I don't recall getting a notice.
don't know what the process is, other than we notify someone over in the nation. Gina, can you maybe speak to that? Hey.
Counselor Callan Watts, we have a policy, surplus salvage policy at CNB that lists a hierarchy for who receives what in surplus salvage. So the first level is Cherokee Nation and/or its entities. So I have a list of Job Corps, Sequoia Schools, Human Services, blah, blah, blah. And that level is the first level who gets to come in and take whatever it is that they want to take from there. In this instance, 99.9% of the stuff that we have went to Cherokee Nation and/or its entities. The second level is community buildings. Anyone who's received a grant to do a community building or build a community building, if we have anything left over, then it goes to the second tier. And then the third tier is any other organization out there that's non-Cherokee Nation related.
Well, just, so we have 2 of those community buildings in our district, and we've never had the opportunity, and it sounds like it has nothing to do with what you guys did, it got passed to the tribe, but I appreciate knowing about it, even though it's after the fact, because otherwise, I guess our district's left out again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Garvin?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Sean, Fort Gibson's getting real close to over. They're working on top of each other almost, and I think you're shooting for December the 6th.
Yes, sir, and I apologize for overlooking that date.
Well, that's all right, but kind of explain about the store and the old building, what's going to happen there.
Well, originally, when we did our business case and feasibility study, because that lot is so site constrained on trust property, we decided to forego a new convenience store and move to the north behind and just put a smoke shop back there. And so that's the way the thing was laid out and done. And I think that subsequent to that, we are entertaining the idea of bringing the C-store back to the front if we can find a location that's suitable for that. And we're still in the process of that right now.
The old building?
The old building will come down. We've removed the fuel tanks and fuel lines and cleaning up that site, and it'll be kind of a grassy area right now unless we do something different.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Councilman Keener?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Slayton, last month I'd asked you about a policy concerning the tribal council.
Yes.
You have an update for us on that?
I do have that. It's drafted. I sent it to Doug yesterday for his review, and then we'll be getting with the speaker on that and rolling it out thereafter.
Doug Evans?
Yes. Doug's our chief financial officer now, and I try to run things by him that relate to money.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
We've actually had some meetings on that, so everyone will get a memo not too far in the future. Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Slayton. Okay. See no old business, we'll move to new business and, yes. Okay. Councilman Hoskins.
Madam Speaker, at this time I'd move to amend the agenda to include the item sponsored by Councilman Lay out of education to the equitable policy for higher education.
Second.
The new item number 11.
Okay. There's been a motion and second to amend the agenda. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition? Ayes have it. We'll show a resolution to establish an equitable policy for all higher education scholarships as number 11. Okay.
Moving back to new business, out of Education and Culture Committee, Council Lady Fraley, would you take that one, number 1?
This proposed amendment to the Arts and Craft Act is to ensure consistency in contracting among the Cherokee Nation and its entities with artists by requiring that policies be established within the government and in our businesses which do not require an artist to give up their copyrights when their artwork is purchased at a show or from a gallery or a general request for artwork proposal. Although not included in this amendment, when the Cherokee Nation or its entities commission artwork from a specific artist for a specific purpose, then the artist and the purchaser will decide certain provisions at the time of contract negotiations. And I understand Cherokee CNE already has a policy drafted complying with this amendment. They're just waiting for approval by their policy group after approval of the amendment by the council. And I would move for approval, Madam Speaker.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second on approval of this resolution. Are there comments or questions? Yes, Council Lady Watts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to thank Councilwoman Fraley because this is an issue I don't often address, but it is very necessary, and I'm glad that you took the time to do the work for the artists because it's been on the table for a while, so thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. Let's see, we'll just do this by,
Acclamation?
yes. All those in favor of this amendment can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposition? Okay. I believe the ayes have it. Okay, out of Resource Committee, number 2, Ms. Fishing Hawk, I'm going to have you take that.
Okay, this is a resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation to lease tribal trust land to the CC Camp Community Organization. It's for a 25-year lease beginning in 2013 at 6.4 acres at $1 per year, and I move for its approval.
Okay, have a motion and second by Frankie. Are there any comments or questions? Yes.
I'd like to be added as a sponsor.
Okay. Shelley, get her down. Anybody else? I think this is in Adair County, isn't it? Okay. All right. All those in favor can signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Frankie, I'm going to have you take number 3.
Okay, this is a resolution authorizing the approval of housing leases for tribal land in Delaware County. And this will enable the descendants of Jenny Birdchopper and or Joe Foreman to provide acceptable living conditions for their families by applying for the care programs that the housing authority has. I make a motion.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. And are there other sponsors to this? Curtis, would you like to be added? Okay. Okay. Any questions or comments? All those in favor of this resolution can signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Okay. Councilman Walkenstick, would you like to take number 4?
Yes. As a resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation Real Estate Services to advertise for a bid to lease Chilocco tribal units on fee and trust land and to waive a bond. I'd like to put this in the form of a motion.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Comments or questions? Okay. Well, we'll start down here with Mr. Keener.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. I'd like to make a friendly amendment I think it was an oversight on the heading there, after trust land, to delete and to waive the bond. Because in the body of the text, it says the bond can be waived. I'm not saying that it's going to be.
What was your friendly now, Mr. Keener?
To delete and to waive the bond on the heading.
Let's see. Mr. Walkenstick, he's offering that as a friendly.
I accept.
Second, accepts, okay. So now we have a motion and a second with a friendly added. Are there, Mr. Keener, was that everything?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Other comments down on this end? Mr. Garvin?
I'd like to be added as a sponsor, please.
Ms. Watts?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wasn't able to support this in committee, and I know that we've addressed some of the issues around the bond and the waiving of bonds so that we know that the council's still involved. But it's still not clear to me why we've adopted this language or why this is a different situation. And anything to do with our tribal properties, I get very concerned about if we're gonna do something different than the normal and different than policy. And I don't know how we as elected officials, there's no mechanism in the resolution about what justification or what reasoning we would be given, that there would be circumstances we as elected officials should be waiving a bond in those certain circumstances. So I'm not opposed to the lease of the trust or the lands in Chilocco and those things, but it just seems odd still, and I don't have enough information in front of me, so I won't support it again tonight. Thank you.
Other comments or questions? Mr. Keener, I'll let you, well, let's see, we're gonna do everybody first. Mr. Baker?
Yes, Madam Speaker. The last two whereases in this, the last whereas seems to be in contradiction to the next to the last whereas. Is our attorney present to address this?
Would you, Councilor Baker, this was drafted by the Realty and it was not drafted by me. I don't know if Mr. Henry wants to comment on it. But it was submitted directly to Realty instead of running by me.
Would you like to see a copy?
I'd like to see it.
The last whereas seems to contradict the next to the last whereas.
Madam Speaker.
Let's ask that just be taken out, take out the last whereas.
Then,
The two whereas clauses are as follows, the last two said, where according,
excuse me, I would ask for a friendly amendment to strike the last whereas.
And I think that takes care of it. Let you off the hook. Let's see, that if, okay, in second? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so is everybody clear on this? We've scratched the last whereas, we've scratched in to waive the bond in the heading. And other than that, is there any other questions, comments, Mr. Lay? And then I think somebody down here wanted a second. I'm gonna give you a second. Okay. Okay, Mr. Lay.
In the first whereas that Councilor Baker was referring to, says the bond can be waived, but it must be submitted back to council. Is that as you read it, legally speaking? So if the bond is going to be waived, it'll come back to us?
Here.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to make a friendly amendment to remove me as a sponsor.
No, you're staying on. I'm not gonna let you off. Mr. Keener?
Thank you for the second, and I'll pose it in the form of a question on that last whereas. If Realty or our council agrees to eliminate this on the description of that.
Councilor Keener, what I would say is, you had asked for the striking of the description and to waive the bond on the heading of the resolution. And so by following up with Councilor Baker's whereas, striking that last whereas, that should take care of that. Because then waiver of the bond is an option that would have to be approved by the council, and I think that's where you want to go.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions or comments?
I see it.
Well, you didn't have friendly, did you, Mr. Keener? Okay. Okay. All right, now I think we're ready to vote. we'll just go ahead and see if we can do it first by show. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Would that be Mr. Keener and Ms. Watts? Two of you? Okay. Shelley, did you get that? Okay, thank you. Looks like the ayes have it then, and that will pass. Okay, the next one, Mr. Snell, would you take that?
Yes. This is a resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding between the Cherokee Nation and the United States Department of Agriculture. And I move with approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Comments or questions? Start with Mr. Lay.
Like to be added as a sponsor.
Okay. Anybody else like to be added? Okay, let's see. Mr. Lay, Ms. Fraley, Mr. Walkingstick, Mr. Keener. Everybody on this side? Okay. Who does not want to be added? Everybody wants to be on there. Well, with that then, let's, do you have any comments? Okay. Call for the question then. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, moving on to the Rules Committee. Mr. Thornton, would you take number 6?
This is a resolution ratifying legalization in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Oklahoma. I'd like to ask our, well, this is our Attorney General now, step forward and make a comment on this. He'd be able to explain it probably a little better than I.
Thank you, Councilman Thornton. In accordance with the Consent to Litigation Act, any lawsuit that is brought on behalf of the Cherokee Nation must receive council approval prior to the filing or initiated within 60 days at the filing. So therefore, in order for us to ratify the suit the Cherokee Nation brought against the United Kituah Band, for the Department of Interior, concerning the 2.03 acres of land that was with a decision that to be put and placed in trust. We have brought suit in the Northern District of Oklahoma Federal Court. CNB is also a party to this lawsuit, and we believe that it's imperative for the protection of the sovereignty of the Cherokee Nation and its jurisdiction that this suit go forward. So therefore, I would urge the council to pass this resolution.
I'll make a motion to pass this resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Comments or questions? Ms. Watts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was remiss in not asking to be added at committee as a sponsor. And I want to thank the sponsors, Councilman Thornton and Councilwoman Fraley and Coates, for bringing this forward. And we appreciate AG representing the nation. Again, I think that historically we know that we protected our land base against our own. I mean, even that no one was to give away our land, it would be at the loss of their own life to do that. So this case is extremely important, and we wish you Godspeed.
Thank you, Councilman.
Successfully defending our jurisdiction and our land.
We will prevail.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I have Mr. Keener down to be added as a sponsor. And Mr. Keener, do you want to speak? And Mr. Jack Baker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wanted to wait and be added as a sponsor during full council to show my sign of solidarity toward the Attorney General's office in this case. And I fully intend to vote to support this and hope that all the council will as well. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Anybody else to be added? I got Mr. Anglin, Mr. Garvin, Ms. Watts, Frankie, and Lee, and Mr. Baker. Is that everybody? Okay, here we go, Frankie. Okay. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor of this resolution can signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Councilman Byrd, would you take number 7?
Yes, this is a resolution allowing Cherokee Nation to work with the United States Department of Ag, National Agriculture Statistics Service. This is maybe an opportunity for the tribe to open up some jobs. Secretary of State Charles Head and I met with this lady while we were at the NCAI, and I think there's some opportunities here for the tribe to have a federal agency like that, in cooperation. So with that, I'd make a motion for the passage of this resolution.
Okay, a motion and second having been made. Comments, questions? Okay, everyone in favor of this resolution can signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition? Ayes have it. Moving on to number 8 on our agenda. Curtis, would you like to take that one? Jody, would you like to take that one? Y'all tag team.
This is an act amending legislative acts 03-09 and Title 68, Chapter 3 of the Cherokee Nation Code, undated, it's the sales tax. Oh, this is exemption for the 100% of permanently disabled veterans and all veterans, and defining what nonprofits are eligible for this exemption, and I move for its approval.
Okay, second? Curtis, you got a motion and second. Questions or comments? It's very fitting that we should consider this the day after Veterans Day. Ms. Watts?
I think that it was Councilman Snell and Councilwoman Fishing Hawk that brought this forward originally, and I don't know if Speaker, you were part of that original core group.
I think.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Hoskin. So I had thought I had asked to be added during committee as a co-sponsor, and I would appreciate and be honored to be added at this time. And then I know that we put the 6-month implementation period on there so that the businesses, the entities, and the tax commission, or is it 3 months? I'm sorry. Was it 6? Okay, it is 6. Yes, so that we had 6 months to roll it out. So I hope that the press doesn't, we're gonna need an opportunity before people show up and ask staff for certain things. But I wanna ask again that that policy or the information be brought back to the council so that we're aware when we get those phone calls between then and there. Thank you.
Any other folks that like, Mr. Lay? Ms. Fraley? Frankie? Joe? Anybody else? Oh, Mr. Baker. I think that's a clean sweep, isn't it? Okay. So I think everybody's on as a sponsor now. Okay, by acclamation. All those in favor of this act can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it, and I'm very proud that we were able to implement an act that will honor our veterans. And it's very fitting that it was done in conjunction with Veterans Day, which was yesterday, and the number of veterans that we had tonight. I think this is a piece of work y'all can be proud of. Yes.
Sorry, it's already passed, but I have a comment. I just want to thank our council attorney. She did a lot of work on this, and thanks for removing that restriction, Oklahoma National Guard, and adding military reserve. That was good. Thanks.
Okay. Number 9, Mr. Thornton.
This is an act related to subsidies for smoke shop owners who are operators, and I'm going to move for its approval.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second by Mr. Anglin. Questions or comments? Anybody else?
I've got a question.
Oh, okay. We'll start the questions then with Mr. Lay.
I'm hoping that we never do this again. I'm hoping that we get a better compact so we don't have to do this again. It seems the state of Oklahoma has declared war on tribes on these compacts. And I don't know who can bring all the tribes together, but we need to really work on these compacts. And I don't know if we can do a multi-tribe gathering to try to get the state to listen to our side of the story. But these compacts are coming down and they're not good. So we need to look into that. I'm hoping Headman can lead us forward in that. That's it.
Other questions, comments?
Madam Speaker, we could put this on the agenda item when the next 5 tribes meet, and make that a priority. As far as getting the 39 tribes together, that's sometimes quite difficult, but we can start with the 5 tribes.
Ms. Watts?
Do we know when the 5 tribes meet? Because we have not been getting notices, or they're like the day before. Because this is an important issue, so I want to be there.
Yes, the next meeting is in January.
Can we get that this week then?
Do we?
They haven't set a date yet.
They usually don't, they usually send it to the representatives, but I'll see when it comes over. There's no date yet, though. Okay.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I
Yes.
would like to state to the council that these compact negotiations are ongoing. We are coordinating with other tribes. I've been in contact with the attorneys general for several different tribes to make sure that we have a concerted effort when we negotiate these on a government-to-government basis with the state of Oklahoma. And we will keep you apprised of all the processes of all the negotiations and where we're at in completing the compact, which of course you all would need to approve.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Mr.
The
Gardner.
meeting in Muskogee just last week concerning this.
There was, and it was an invitation-only meeting that was brought forth by the state of Oklahoma. We weren't invited. But be that as it may, we are having well, we know of copious amounts of information that took place at that meeting.
We were not invited.
I know I wasn't.
We won't invite them to our tribe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Mr. Walking-Stick.
On this act, I know last meeting we was talking about the talk about the millions they were supposedly bringing in, and I don't think we haven't received the sales amount from the tax commission, nor have we received the rental amounts from the BIA. We had I guess Mr. Hembry is supposed to be getting a FOIA request from the BIA on those rental amounts. It'd be hard to vote on this going into it blindly. That's all. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Thornton.
I move for the question.
Okay, there's,
I'd like to make a motion to table.
okay. You moved for the question, and he moved to table, which a motion to table takes precedent over everything and is without discussion. So we'll take a...
Point of order, there was no second.
Wait, is there a second to your motion to table?
I'll second.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second to table the act relating to subsidies for smoke shop owners who are operators. We'll go ahead and take roll call on that one. He's right, we don't have the information. Yes.
Jody Fishcott,
No.
Meredith Fraley,
No.
Janelle Fulbright,
No.
Don Garvin,
No.
Frankie Hargis, Chuck Hoskin Jr.,
Yes.
Tina Glory Jordan,
No to table. No.
Lee Keener,
No.
Dick Lay,
No.
Curtis Snell,
No.
David Thornton,
No.
David Walkingstick,
No to table? Yeah, no.
No. I was voting no, so it wouldn't be tabled.
Yes. Oh,
You're the
yes.
sponsor.
Point of
Yeah,
clarification.
I'm sorry, I mixed you up.
Kara Cowan Watts,
No.
Yes.
Buell England,
No.
Jack Baker,
No.
Joe Bird,
No. Make any sense when I
Julia
say no to
Coates.
table.
Did you say
We have 2 yes and 14 no.
Yeah, opposed. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the motion to table failed. And we're gonna go back to.
Call for the question.
Yeah, second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second calling for the question. This is an act, so we'll go ahead and have roll call. Let me clarify before we start, because I was thinking to myself out loud. Yes would be to pass the act, no would be you don't want to do it. Okay, Shelley?
David Thornton,
Yes.
David Walkingstick,
No.
Kara Cowan Watts,
Yes.
Buell England,
Yes.
Jack Baker,
Yes.
Joe Bird,
Yes.
Julia Coates, Jody Fishing-Hawk,
Yes.
Meredith Fraley,
Yes.
Janelle Fulbright,
Yes.
Don Garvin,
Yes.
Frankie Hargis. Yes. Chuck Hoskin Jr.,
Yes.
Tina Glory Jordan,
Yes.
Lee Keener,
Yes.
Dick Lay,
Yes.
Curtis Snell.
Yes.
Yes.
We have 15 yes and 1 no.
Okay. The act passes then. Out of Executive and Finance Committee, we have number 10. Ms. Fishing-Hawk, would you take that?
This is an act amending Legislative Act 3712, authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2013. The purpose of this amendment is to authorize and approve the use of funds, change the amount of certain cost centers approved in the Comprehensive Budget Act for fiscal year 2013. The cumulative total of the budget is increased by $2,116,482 for a total budget authority of $528,309,660. And I move for its approval.
Second, Madam Speaker, on information, we had a document passed out, and I wondered if Councilwoman Fishing-Hawk, is this necessary to amend the budget modification? I know this was distributed, or is this part of the mod that's in our book?
Is Lacey here? Is Lacey the treasurer here?
But I see that
Jody
our
may.
financial advisors isn't. Jody, can you speak to that? Jody Reese?
The information that there was additional handout will actually have zero effect on the bottom line. It could be, if it's added, be part of the act itself. It would change some of the pivot tables and stuff like that, but as far as the actual bottom line, there would be zero effect.
Jody, is the administration proposing that this budget mod be changed pursuant to this document? That's what I'm confused about.
Yes.
Anyone here from the administration to speak to the purpose of this? I'd yield, Madam Speaker, I'd yield to Councilman Baker if he could respond to it.
No, Dr.
Yeah, he
Madden?
can't respond to that, but I see the Attorney General has risen.
Yes, Madam Speaker, Councilman Hoskin, I would recommend that that there would be a motion to amend to add that as part of the mod. So therefore, although it may not change the ultimate bottom line, make sure that we are all on the same page as to the act. So I would recommend an amendment.
Thank you, Mr. General. Madam Speaker, before I would suggest a friendly amendment, Mr. Reese, can you walk us through, even though it doesn't change the bottom line, what this does?
May I have a
Can I clear this up? I can clear it up.
Okay,
point of order?
yes.
This as a mod for the capital improvement budget, and we do not have a capital improvement mod before us. So we cannot amend
We could,
this mod.
we could add if, we could,
No, this is for your operating budget. This is your capital.
Yeah, this time.
He can't amend this.
no, but 12 people can amend this agenda to add this.
Yeah, yes, they could.
Madam Speaker, inasmuch as it deals with the budget, I would wonder if we could hear from Mr. Reese, and then we can determine.
Jody, why don't you explain to the council what this is, even though it doesn't have anything to do with,
Wait, let's move on this one, then we'll talk about that.
yeah, let's do this. Let's hold on this because it's not part of this act.
Chief has risen.
Because we cannot amend this act because this does not deal with capital improvements. And there is no capital improvements budget on for tonight.
Right.
Now, someone may request that there be an amendment to the agenda to place it on there, which would take 12 people to do that. And then at that time, if they do, you can explain what this is. Okay?
And we had a second on this, didn't we?
I think we had a motion and a second
Yeah, I
on number
second.
10.
I second.
Okay, are there questions to number 10? Number 10 has not been amended.
Call for the question by acclamation.
Okay? A second to that?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of number 10, which is the budget mod for this month, signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Does anybody want to amend?
Yeah, I guess we have discussion with Chief.
It is.
Can I speak for
Motion to,
what?
you have to make a motion to amend.
Jody, correct me if I'm wrong, but what's before us is for the capital budget, and what they're wanting us to do is release it where it was appropriated by reserve, it was reserved by appropriations.
Appropriation.
It was a line item.
Right.
Health is acting to release it.
And it was part of the capital projects budget, so you're correct that it would have to be part of a separate.
Okay. Are
That's
you
what
putting
this
that
is.
in the form of a motion to amend the
Right.
agenda to add?
Yeah, just to bring us into discussion. I would like to put this in form of a motion to amend the agenda.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second then to amend the agenda, and that'll bring us into discussion. Do you want to present what this would do?
We have to amend the agenda.
Well, I think we have to tell them what it is so that they know what they're amending the agenda for.
There's actually two budgets. One of them is a capital projects and one of them is on the operating budget also. Because one of them is under IHS for the Muskogee Clinic. The other is capital projects for land acquisition.
Okay, so apparently we do have two documents here. And so we may have acted a little hasty on our last vote. Do you want to make an amendment to that? You'll have to make an amendment if you want to.
Well, we're already into the capital. You want to do it first?
Yeah, just
Okay.
make a motion on it.
Okay, well, we already went into discussion. Jody, can you speak to the capital so everybody will know, since we're in discussion on it?
Okay, the capital budget is for, it's under IHS funding for, and it was reserved by appropriation previously, 3.5 million. And this would release it to where it could be used for land acquisition and stuff.
Okay, here's what's on the floor now. There is a motion and a second on the floor to amend the agenda to add number 12. And number 12 is the release of, if this amendment takes place, then you will consider a release of funding that you have set aside for certain health projects. And now we're in discussion just on amending the agenda. Ms. Watts?
Just so that my mind is clear, so it's the top sheet where it's, the funding source is IHS self-governance. And it is a land building purchase, so it'd be capitalized. And so we would have item number 12 as the capital budget amendment. But it's not specifying, I mean, it sounds like we have a piece of property or multiple pieces of property or a building in mind. What is this doing?
The 1 million for the IHS?
3.5 million.
No,
is what
Okay.
I'm reading.
The
Jody,
three-
we're just talking about the 3.5
3.5
million. Is to buy 2 pieces of land where 2 new clinics would go that have previously been approved through a resolution process in a prior month. Specifically, the 2 areas are Jay and Bartlesville.
Okay, so how does this impact the overall capital budget that's already passed for this fiscal year 2013? And you're saying that it does not?
Correct.
Because it's already set aside. But how does it overall impact that line item? I mean, how much do we have for other? There was multiple things on that resolution. So how are we overall? I mean, how is this part of a bigger plan? I'm kind of concerned that it's not part of a bigger scope. It lands in our lap at 6 o'clock when we start this meeting. I need more facts to even vote on amending the agenda. I don't understand. $3.5 million is a lot of money
Right.
to most people.
Right, I agree. This was the original 3.5 million that was reserved for land acquisition.
So is
For
this the entire amount?
That is the entire amount.
So we are zeroing out, we're gonna let this go free and we have no idea how it's part of a bigger scope or what it's actually doing to acquire land?
Point of order. The 3.5 is not for the land. The 3.5 is the Muskogee Clinic to fix it, where they've already got requisitions and bids out on it. The 1 million is for the land purchase.
That's
No.
I don't think, I know, but it says wrong at the top, but, I mean, that's how it was approved and reserved during budgets.
Madam Speaker, may I continue?
Yes.
I appreciate that somewhere somebody's decided that something's time sensitive, but these are major decisions and major acquisitions, and just because we approved a resolution that looks good to everybody on paper doesn't mean we have a strategy in moving forward. And I don't understand why we're just now seeing this right now when we've come to this meeting tonight. I'm not opposed to it, but I am opposed to making decisions with such last-minute information, and it seems to be a routine. So I can't support amending the agenda tonight, please.
Are there other questions and comments? Mr. Keener?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the 3.5 million is for health land and building purchase. Is that correct?
That's why I read capital projects.
The health land is for Jay and Bartlesville?
Where is Lacey?
She's mislabeled at the top.
Because this came from Lacey Horn's office.
May I yield to Ms. Davis?
Yes, yes. Ms. Davis, come up here and explain to us what you're trying to do. And Chief Baker, Would it be possible for Ms. Horn to be here from now on?
Thank you, Speaker. We have the opportunity to purchase, I believe, 22 acres in Jay, and it's at a very good location. It's the point that we've discussed with Councilman Snell. It's where we plan to build the clinic that was approved by the resolution you spoke of earlier. That's one point. And then we have property in Bartlesville that we want to go look at.
We really don't need to be talking about this on the screen, right?
Okay.
Until we get an offer made.
I understand. But we need,
It's gonna cost us a bunch of money talking about this, right?
okay.
No, I think we just need to amend the agenda.
Hey,
May I ask a question of Ms. Davis?
Yes.
We had a health committee today. We had 2.5 hours scheduled, and we only used an hour and a half. Why weren't these items shown to us at our health committee and explained to us at that time?
I didn't find out till later this afternoon it was coming tonight. I apologize.
Thank you.
Now, these are questions just pertaining to amending the agenda. Mr. Lay? Yes.
I guess I did not have a question for that. I was wondering about a 5-minute recess.
You're requesting a 5-minute recess, yes. Privilege of the chair, we're going to give him a 5-minute recess. Y'all don't run off. 5 minutes. Okay?
motion to table.
Well,
Is it time sensitive?
They said it was, but
We don't know anything about it.
Oh, we're just gonna withdraw it. Okay, we're back on the record and we're discussing a motion to amend the agenda. And Ms. Fishing Hawk?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to withdraw.
Okay,
Yeah, she withdraws, I withdraw the second.
okay. Well, that puts us back on number 11 then. Let's see, Mr. Hoskins.
Point of order, this is the original budget bond. I thought
No,
we voted on
we've
this.
already passed that.
Oh, okay, we're on the new scholarship.
Yeah.
Thank you. My apologies, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, or Madam Speaker, item number 11, legislation developed by Councilman Lay, resolution establishing an equitable policy of all higher education scholarships. I would move for its approval with a friendly amendment. One is to specify in the fifth whereas, specify what military academies we're talking about. I think the recognized U.S. military academies are the U.S. Military Academy known as West Point, the U.S. Naval Academy, the U.S. Coast Guard Academy, the U.S. Air Force Academy, and the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. I would put that in parentheses after military academies in the fifth whereas. And then finally, Madam Speaker, at the resolve paragraph, 3, 4, on the fifth line, it says cost of high education should be higher education. With that, I'd make a motion.
Second.
And just express my appreciation for Councilman Lay for his leadership on this issue, bringing this to our attention.
Okay. We've got a motion and second, and it is a resolution. Discussion or questions?
Call for the question.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. This is another good piece of legislation that closes a small loophole where some students were being treated somewhat less than other students. This will put everybody on equal ground for scholarships. All right, is there other business before the council? Announcements? Yes, Mr. Baker.
Madam Speaker, I'd like to recognize the fact that one of our Cherokee citizens, Mark Wayne Mullen, was elected to represent this district in Congress. And I'd like to also recognize his mother, Doris Mullen, who's with us tonight.
Chad, say something. Ask him. Gave her.
Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you all for recognizing Mark One. And I talked to him today. He's in Washington. And he just asked me to send his regards and to thank everyone and to let them know that he definitely is a proud citizen of the Cherokee Nation, and he's very proud to be in Washington representing the United States and the Cherokee Nation in this district too. It's a very large district, it goes from Kansas to Texas, and he will be representing all of the tribes. And he understands that there are a lot of tribal issues in the election. There are several things brought up that do concern the tribes. And he says that he would definitely like to stay informed on tribal issues. If there's something, anything that he can do to help, that someone should contact him or contact the people. And he would love to be able to work with the tribes, in particular the Cherokee Nation.
Other announcements? Ms. Fulbright.
Yes, we have our District 3 Community Meeting Tuesday night, the 27th, at Salisbury Blue Ribbon Downs in the banquet hall from 5 to 7. We invite everybody. Hope everyone can come. We're going to have chili and beans and Frito pies, and everybody will have a good time. And that's Counselor Don Garvin and Counselor David Thornton and myself, and the Cherokee Choir will be there to sing, and everybody's welcome.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I'm always glad when a CND board member joins us, and we have Brent Taylor here tonight, and Brent, we're glad you're here.
Jerry Holderby was here earlier.
Yeah, and I believe Jerry Holderby
Oh,
was here earlier.
Jerry Holderby was here.
Other, Mr. Lady, do you have a meeting?
Yes, I do. Yeah, we have a District 4 community meeting in Dewey, Oklahoma, November 27th, 6 o'clock, chilly, and we're expecting to be there.
Mr. Hoskins.
December 8th, Veneta Community Meeting, 11:30. Food to be announced.
Chili?
Who knows?
Everybody else is there.
Okay. All right.
Motion we adjourn.
Motion adjourned, second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Thank you all.
Time we get a.
Yeah, Lee, about time we get it.